First, I'd like to just explain a little bit about the term entitlements. As we're located here in California, that tends to be the term that's used, but you'll also hear, government approvals. And that's essentially what it is that you're getting your project approved at the local level. Could be the city, could be the county, who is going to approve your project and take it further along and provide more certainty than what you would be getting out of your zoning. One of the things that I'd like to just kind of talk about is why it's so important. And the importance of entitlements or your approvals is that you're bringing certainty to your project where you may, in this case, we're going to be talking about a home building project, but you have a certainty that did I get 50 homes approved or did I get 75 homes approved? Then there's conditions that are put on your project. Is the city going to require that you build an off-site traffic signal or build an off-site bridge or pay special fees? All of those things affect the value of your property. And before you actually get into the really expensive part of doing the final engineering and preparing grading plans and improvement plans and the architecture, you really want to know what these approvals are. And this is kind of why I would always think of it as a two-step approach. Your first step is these government approvals or discretionary approvals. And then the second part is your final engineering, which we're not going to get into too much in this course, but that's another course in itself of once your project approved, where do you go from there? You will essentially have zoning or general plan designation at the city. So you can go check and find in the city's general plan or the city's zoning map what your project is already designated for. And in some cases you may have a general plan designation, but the zoning isn't in conformance with it yet. But at least you'll know where you think you can go. And what will be important, as we'll talk about a little more, is the fact that you are going to have certain zoning in terms of density and home sizes and lot sizes that if you're proposing a project within what's already designated, your process is probably going to be a little bit smoother. If you're starting to push the edge of the envelope, it will probably get a little more difficult. You may have more opposition or resistance to your project from within the community. So what we'll talk about is where do you start? And I always would say you start with basically what's the city got for your property in terms of zoning or general plan designation. So as I'd said, it's discretionary approvals and it's really a political process. So what you have is a city, could be the planning commission who's just going to approve your project, could be the city council, or if you're at the county level, they have a planning commission and they also have a county board of supervisors. And those political bodies are going to approve your project through this process and basically provide the, quote, discretionary approvals that you're trying to get before you go on to the final engineering.